5%. So you
Correct.
could really be 25%. Like say your mortgage was $200,000, your house going to be worth more or less than $175,000.
That is correct.
Something like is that numbers? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that close?
It's
Yeah. So
close.
now it's unlimited.
Correct.
Well, and so many of the Obama programs before have failed. Is this one looking like it might do a little bit better?
It's doing better. It's not the solution for everybody. You have to really evaluate because you're not going to get a principal reduction. So if you still are $150,000 upside down in your home, you're still going to be $150,000 upside down in your home.
Now, can you use this program for a first if you also have a second?
You can, as long as the second resubordinates, which means allows the first to be refinanced and they will sign off and acknowledge it.
Do they typically?
Melvin, I'll defer to you.
Melvin looking like, yeah.
I was like, I'm jumping in now.
Yes, in most cases, the second are willing to subordinate.
Well, if somebody is in the right position, there's somebody who could use that program, redo their first, and then with the Chapter 13, get rid of their second, and they come out sweet.
We didn't hear that, but
Well, I guess it's part of financial planning, right?
I
It's
believe
part of
that's
financial planning.
legitimate.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's anything
Because
besides
absolutely.
You said something very important, that regardless of whether the program's out there or not, it may not make sense for some people.
that's absolutely right. You have to really evaluate how long do you plan on staying in your home, and is it a wise decision for you and your family?
You may never be right side up again.
It may be 15 to 18 years. Most of our studies show that at a 4% increments in value, which is an aggressive but pretty much standard value, what do you want to call it, increase every year, it would take you about 15 to 18 years, most homeowners, to get back to even again.
Now, based on the HARP-2 parameters, how many folks out there could this program potentially help? Is there another fly flying around over here?
Well, Fannie and Freddie Mac are the criteria. Your loan must be owned by them, not necessarily serviced by them. Wells Fargo or Chase could be your servicer, but who actually owns your loan has to be Fannie or Freddie. So there's an easy way to find that out. You can actually go to Google and say, is my loan Fannie Mae or is my loan Freddie Mac? It will bring you to the website where you enter in your property address. It will come up with the information if your loan is Fannie or Freddie owned. If it is not, then this program is not for you.
And you have to be current with this program, so you cannot be delinquent. So if you're current and your loan is owned by Fannie or Freddie, regardless of how upside down you are, you might be able to refinance.
Correct. And
You are allowed one 30-day late in a 12-month period.
Gotcha.
it can't be in the last 6 months. So very important. Your last 6 months must be clean, but you could have one 30-day late in the last 12.
Do we kind of know the numbers that are out there? Is there 1,000 people this is going to help, 50,000, 1 million people? Is this something that's just really pertinent to Arizona?
It's definitely pertinent to Arizona. It's hard to say how many it's going to help because it is a homeowner decision. Even if their loan is owned by Fannie or Freddie, is this the right choice for them?
Are there stats out there? I guess what I'm talking about, are there stats that kind of talk to how many folks are upside down that have never been delinquent?
Well, I think the majority of people in this valley are pretty much upside down. I mean, most of our clients, there are maybe 20% who have equity at this point. Most people are upside down because they bought in that sweet spot of when the market was exploding. Everyone wanted to be part of home ownership. It was easy to get a loan, and now most people are upside down.
But haven't a lot of those already lost their homes? And
Not necessarily. There's a lot of people that we run into, and I'm sure Melvin would agree, who have a real pride of ownership. They don't want to let go. They feel they signed a contract. They feel that they're obligated to that contract. And they have a real moral issue with just letting the house go. Maybe they haven't been affected as much by the economy. Their income hasn't necessarily gone down, but they have a hardship because they've lost the value in their home. It's worth half of what they paid for it.
You know, one thing we forgot to do is throw out the phone number, Joe, just in case
That would be
anyone's calling.
480-745-1033 if you want to call in with comments or questions.
Sounds good.
Let me give you a scenario that I've actually run into a couple times in the last about month or so. What about somebody who has a bankruptcy in their history? No delinquencies, though. Kept the home in the bankruptcy. and would still love to be able to refinance that loan because they could still use some of that financial help, are they automatically disqualified because of a bankruptcy?
Yes. Yes. That bankruptcy rule does apply for the HARP loans as well, where there is on average program, there's a 2-year seasoning between a bankruptcy discharge date.
So in that case, it seems like a decision to strategically default. I hate using that word, but if you're always going to be upside down and you're at a 7 or 8% interest rate and they're down to 3.5%, almost seems better to go buy another house. I don't know. That's just me.
Right.
I've never defaulted, but I just think that's a good opt out and get out of it. Opt out.
Well, that's why you see there's a lot of agents out there actually advertising the strategic defaults, because that is an option for some people, and it allows them, depending on if they've gone late or not. If they haven't gone late, they could possibly go into a new home at today's values right out of it.
Absolutely nothing. The two attorneys, absolutely nothing illegal about strategic defaulting, meaning you're upside down. You can afford your payments, but you decide one morning, you get up, you say, this is never going to be my nest egg. I think I'm going to bail on this thing, go buy another house down the street.
Yeah, I mean, the general answer is no, there's nothing illegal about a strategic default. There's always, in every legal question, there's always individual circumstances that could change that answer. But I would say, by and large, the general answer is no. There's nothing wrong with strategically defaulting or purposefully letting your house foreclose.
Right. And I understand that there's some companies like your company, you guys actually have a loan that you can take out just a few days after an incident like a short sale or foreclosure. So it almost seems like this is the time to do it.
Well, there's two different ways you can go, Tom. Actually, we have one that if you never went late, you could actually go into a regular FHA loan immediately out of the short sale. Again, contingent on the fact that you never had a late payment during
FHA to FHA, or
no, it would be conventional into FHA or some other type of loan into an FHA program. Then we also have a program that is unique to People's, which is called our Fresh Start program, and that's designed for people who did have lates, did go into foreclosure, maybe had a bankruptcy 6 months ago. If they can come up with 30% down, and that money can be gifted. So, in other words, same guidelines like an FHA program. If grandma or mom and dad don't want them living with them, and they
boot them out of the house,
and they say, "Okay, we'll give you the money," they can go out and purchase again right away.
I love it when the phones light up so quickly that Joe can't keep up with all the
call
calls.
upon call.
So none
right
of the
now
callers
waiting,
are wanting
so.
to come live yet, but I see the phone is lighting up, and we'll get those questions in a minute. So are there people jumping on that? Are you seeing more and more people interested in that Fresh Start program?
Absolutely. We were one of the first. There's only a few banks in Arizona that offer this program. It's not a government-backed. It's a privately held loan by our company. We were one of the first to come out with it. I believe there are 2 other banks that also carry it here in the Valley, but it is becoming a very successful program. The interest rates, yes, they're slightly higher than they would be if you were to do a regular purchase, but they're certainly not as difficult to maintain as, say, a hard money loan, which gets upwards of 11% or more. So it's a very attractive option. You get to buy at today's prices. You get to reap the benefits of home ownership, and then we refinance you out of it from 3 to 7 years.
I don't see anything wrong with that. It just seems to me just like an incredible program that your phone should be ringing off the hook.
It is an incredible program. We're still getting the word out there, and a lot of people can't believe it. There's that awe and shock factor, like, really? I can do that?
Yeah. I think we have 3 calls.
We got 2.
2.
The first one was just a comment. All right, John A. from Phoenix. I walked away 14 months ago. My credit score as of 30 days ago was about 605 average between the 3. Can I get into a house with the Fresh Start program?
Based upon just that criteria, yes, you could. Of course, there's other factors involved, like we would actually need to know your income and what type of income you have versus what kind of debt. But based on that FICO score and the information that I have, it could be something that would be good for you.
You want to throw out your contact information before we forget?
Yes, absolutely. There's 2 ways you can contact me. My cell phone number is 480-255-0595. And I also have email, obviously, wthomas, at smartmtg.com. And you can also visit my website, which is www.wendy.smartmtg.
All right,
There you go.
let's go to George in Phoenix with our next question here. So I can give my son 30% down on a home that he wants to purchase, and he'll have no problem putting it in his name. His credit score is about not the best, 500 to 550. Is it possible?
Yeah, we don't. First of all, we don't call that not the best. What do we call that?
I don't know what that
we
is.
have another
but
name for a credit score that's below 500.
That's pretty low. Yeah.
That's pretty tough there. No, for that Fresh Start program, the minimum FICO score is a 600 FICO score for that program.
Now the question too is, let's say somebody has a 550 like this person or 5 whatever, and they come to you. Can you give them some guidance and say, listen, for the next 60 days, 90 days, do this, and this, and maybe it'll raise?
Exactly, and that's what the advantage of Wendy and I being in the business as long as we had the opportunity to review thousands and thousands of credit reports, so we consider ourselves pretty close to experts at fixing credit and advising people what to do to get in a position to buy.
Because I think, from my experience, and I'm certainly not as experienced as you guys, but I've been on a lot of panels with a lot of experts, and I've dealt with a lot of clients, and it seems like making that first jump from the low fives and things up to the 610, 620s, it seems like that's one of the easiest jumps to make because you just fix a few things.
Exactly.
It exactly is, and it really depends on a lot of factors. What that person's credit history is. Is it pretty clean, or do they have a history of a lot of collections? But you're right, that first jump is normally a pretty good jump for people who's just starting fresh and attaining credit and stuff like that.
So Milton, just because somebody has a credit score that may not be where it needs to be, that
Melvin.
should not Melvin, what did I say?
Joe Bob.
All right, now everybody's mocking me.
He makes up names all the time.
You know what? It's not that.
All the time.
It's fine.
I said Melvin.
Milton Marvin.
I said Milton, but it's really Melvin.
We knew what he meant, though.
Yeah, and by the way, our listeners wouldn't have known if Tom wouldn't have pointed it out. Thank you very much.
You should
Thought
hear
it
what he
was
calls
fun.
me, and nobody
That's
notices.
Well, no, sometimes that's true. I sometimes get Joe and Tom mixed
I
up.
don't know how he does that, though. I mean,
Because we look almost identical.
We do. We could be
Oh, is
brothers.
that
Should be
why?
twins.
That's why. That's exactly why. So that a credit score shouldn't dissuade somebody from.
Absolutely not. We pretty much can take anybody. Obviously, some are going to take longer than others, but we can give them the advice to get their credit where they want it to be.
So somebody like this person, you would coach them to the point where they could buy.
Absolutely.
So they should call you.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yes, don't hesitate to call us, even if you know that or you think that your credit is beyond repair. You can always start over.
Hopefully my mic is positioned right because I don't have your headphones tonight. So
We hear you greatly.
it's working greatly. All right.
Greatly.
He hears me greatly. Now, if somebody comes in, many times they don't know what types of loans are available. They just know they want to get a house. What do you do in the beginning to try to figure out what direction? Do you have an interview process, checklists? What do you have to help them figure out where do we go to find just to get a house?
Absolutely. One of the first things we do is take a full application from them and discuss what it is they think they want, and then we figure out what it is they will actually qualify for. Unfortunately, due to the mortgage industry kind of falling apart through all of this, we pretty much have vanilla and chocolate. And I would consider Fresh Start the strawberry. And we pretty much have conventional and FHA, and then we have a program unique like Fresh Start. So it's generally not too difficult to figure out which niche they're going to fit into. A lot of it has to do with their credit score, how much money they have to work with, and ideally what they want their payment and what they're comfortable with. Because what we don't want to happen is what has a lot of these people have just come out of, a house that was beyond their means, maybe a funky loan program that they never understood.
Yeah, that's the American way now, isn't it?
The funky program.
No, it is. We always want more house, right? That's the American
Yeah,
way.
it is.
They don't ask.
Excess, extreme.
Yeah.
That's right. They don't get a little house and say, "Can I get this one?" They just say, "What's the maximum I can qualify for?" And I'll go find a house that fits what I can.
Well,
Isn't that right?
Exactly.
We've all heard of the loans where people ended up in really bad situations, and it's unfortunate. And one of the good things that's come out of it all is people like Melvin and myself have had to get licensed. We've had to go through background checks, et cetera, to be able to do mortgages now, something that didn't exist a couple of years ago. So we kind of weeded out the industry of a lot of people that necessarily weren't out for the best interest, and hopefully those of us left have the best interest of each client that we meet with.
Yeah, it's been a hard couple of years on
Very.
you guys, hasn't it?
Oh,
Very.
Very, very hard.
Yeah, there was one year, I think 5 of the banks I went to work for closed in 1 year.
Yeah.
It was tough.
Well, and for the agents, it's you know,
was-
getting loans in the door has been a tough thing over the last 3 or 4.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're seeing a big change in that. People are coming around again, and there's a lot more activity out there. Most homes get multiple offers now. There's a lot more activity, which is all positive and a sign of good things.
And how many years, Melvin, did you say that you've been in the industry?
I've been in the industry about 12 years now.
Good. That's God bless you for surviving, because
Oh,
it's
yeah,
been
it
a
was
tough
tough.
deal.
Oh, very tough.
But we had another caller.
All right, there we go. We had Tyler and Ted call in from Tempe. They want to know, they are getting ready to start working on their credit because they'd like to buy a house. Their credit score's 515. They were getting ready to work with Dawn with Go Clean Credit. They want to know, can we just work with you? Do you do credit repair? And they can just work with you totally and not have to work with another agency.
I will tell you, kind of coincidentally, we do a lot of work with Go Clean Credit.
Well, actually, we've had her on the show a couple times, and we just adore her because
Yes.
she's such an intelligent person.
Yes.
And not to take any business, because I'm sure Don's going to steer you towards Wendy and Melvin. But,
Yes.
you know, that's a good company. But
It's all a big family here.
It is a
Yeah.
big family. But you know what? Call Wendy. Maybe there's a couple easy, quick tweaks she can do. But at 515, I think you're going to need several
You're probably
months worth of help.
You're probably going to need
Yeah.
their services.
Yeah.
Dawn, and there's another gentleman there by the name of Will. We work extensively with them, and I would recommend that they will direct you back towards us. They are familiar with us. We do a lot of work with them.
And you know, they have a law firm they work with.
We're going to have them on in a
yeah,
couple
and
weeks.
I hate to tote another
Rochelle.
Yeah, but no,
law
it's-
firm since I do law, but quite frankly, they're very good at what they do.
They are very good. They have some new programs, which I don't even know if you want me to go into those at this point, but
Sure,
they
if you
have
want.
some fantastic. I have been told that they now have a program where they can legally remove some items from your credit.
Sure. In fact, I'll tell you that I've been around the as an attorney
Yeah.
around these types of issues for a long time, and I have so often found that those claiming to clean up credit were just hoaxes,
Right,
Exactly.
temporary
exactly.
fixes at best, and I was delightfully surprised at what Go Clean Credit and Don McCraw, what they are able to do. So, by the way, Don, if you're listening, we'll send you a bill later for this free endorsement here.
But it ultimately helps all of us, because if she can create and help restore their credit, then that brings us business, because you know we're all working together as a team. Just
Have
like
another
we,
homeowner or somebody else paying property taxes. Absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely.
And you know, Tom's another part of that segment. So I mean, we all just work together.
Well, what I would recommend with somebody like that is to actually let us look at it first. Because like you said, it may be just a few small tweaks that we can do to their report to get them to get a higher score. You know what I mean? Then if it's something that's more extensive, that's going to require a lot of follow-up and a lot of letter writing, then that's when we kind of refer them on to Go Clean Credit to, you know, to do the follow-up and the constant letter writing and stuff to get things removed.
Another call there, Joe.
Yes, Marv Lexler from Avondale wants to know, do you have any programs where you buy homes or take them as trade-ins towards other properties?
We don't do that, but I do know that there are some builders out there who will do that.
Yeah, and you have to be careful. So if you know them personally, that's good to in fact, you may call her. You may want to get a hold of Wendy to get that referral, because here's what I found in that industry. And again, as an attorney, I look at things differently.
Sure.
There's a lot of stinking crooks out there. Holy
I'll give you
moly.
$25 for your home.
I tell you, no, there's so many crooks.
Today.
You'd be
Cash.
amazed at how many frauds are floating out there.
There's a ton of them.
Yeah,
and
it's
and
very
they always
bad.
promise crap. And
Yeah. You want to be really careful. Our main niche product, aside from the traditional conventional FHA, again, is the Fresh Start program, being something that we have that not everyone has out there.
Now, what about VA loans? Are you able to get into VA loans?
Absolutely.
Those are good.
Absolutely. They are a good program. No money down. You know, sometimes you can get the closing costs paid for by seller. You literally walk in with no money. So it's
Got to make sure it fits your situation, because then there's no protection from the deficiency. You know, the anti-deficiency statutes don't apply on VA loans, but so you got to be dang certain you can afford that house.
Absolutely, and you do lose your VA privileges permanently if something like that does happen. So you do have to make wise choices when you go into the VA program.
Which isn't a bad thing to make wise choices.
No.
Back in
Something
the day,
we need to do more of.
Back in the day, that was an American value years and years and years and years ago. We've dropped that value off somehow.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, I think, a lot of people were so anxious to buy more than they could afford. And I think what we're seeing is clients come down to earth now.
Are you?
Yeah.
It's
more
kind of
conservative.
tough.
Yeah.
One of the challenges I think that we've got right now is that the affordable houses get bought so quickly with multiple...
By investors.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is one of the biggest challenges, especially in that $150,000 home and below. It's extremely competitive.
Oh, we've had another call. I think we've had a half a dozen calls.
He's got
Nope,
tons.
he's
working
waving
those
us off.
phones.
The guy must
He's
be cussing
working
or
those
something.
phones. So can somebody just get all their paperwork? Because one of the frustrations, too. In fact, I'll tell you this. I had a transaction that I was the attorney on just very, very recently where the realtor called me and says, you know what, we've got this offer, and now a cash offer just came in. Can I dump the first offer and go with the cash offer? Now, the answer, of course, is no. With some thought,
That's if you accept the first offer, you can't dump that offer.
Right.
That's right.
You
That's
can get
right.
multiple offers. You can chuck whatever offer you want, right?
That's actually not completely true depending on circumstances, but in reason if they all come in at the same time. But it doesn't come like that always.
Sure.
But the point of the matter is only to look at the problem. And the problem is that a cash offer is looked at better than I'm going to get a loan offer because of the time and things that it takes. So now to my question. Can they come to you and say, listen, so that I avoid that problem, I want to get all my ducks in a row first. I want to get not only just the little letter saying I might be approved. Can they give you enough information and stuff to get their ducks lined up so when they put that offer on, they can close quicker than...
Absolutely. When we meet with a buyer who is concerned about that, we'll get all of their income documentation up front. Obviously, we've pulled their credit report. We can have a complete 1003 application completely done, ready to go, where all we do is fill in the property address and we can expedite title from there, appraisal order, et cetera, et cetera. So obviously, yes, you can have all of those things ready to go.
And time to close then if somebody does that. And then they put an offer on. They do all that with you, finish it up, and then you give them the green light and they put an offer on the next day.
Realistically, depending if everything goes smooth and there's no questions about anything through the transaction, 15 to 20 days with someone who is that prepared, yes.
Talk about how that works with lock rates. Now, this is from personal experience.
You can tell he's getting a little red. He's talking about it. I know what you're talking about.
It can be such a pain in the butt, you know. You as a consumer doing all you're supposed to do, and things are being delayed. They're out of your control, and then they're talking to you about paying extra money to lock rates in.
Well, there's a lot of people involved. Let me talk about the title side. We'll go like this because this is the fun part. Title, 2 days for prelim, 24 hours, right?
Yes.
You get a HUD, a CPL, which is a closing protection letter, all within a couple days. So then, boom, we've got our stuff open. We're kind of the repository for all the other stuff. Now it's the lender. So now the lender's got to work. Now it depends. Sometimes we get the payoffs. Sometimes they do. It really depends. So I'm going to throw it on her lap. So now they have got to go through the underwriting process and the processing
through
piece.
that process.
Absolutely. Once we have everything back and everything is in, including the appraisal, and we don't have any issues with value and everything is good to go, we're only a 2-day turnaround in underwriting. So it's a pretty fast process.
So if the ducks are lined up, it can really move at a good
It can
clip.
move at a good pace, but that requires cooperation from everyone. So that means if you're my
The borrower,
client,
getting the stuff in.
if you're my client and they come to you and I say I need an updated bank statement, I can't wait 3 days for that bank statement. You've got to get it to me right away.
We have a live caller.
We do. We have a caller on the phone. Who do we have calling in?
Hello?
Hello, caller. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
And-
This is Angela Monti from Tillman Partners.
Excellent.
Angela, how are you?
I am doing very well. I just wanted to say thank you to Tom Diller, and he has been a tremendous amount of help in getting us connected with Guaranteed Title. We've had many successful transactions.
Well, thank you.
Do we have to send her a check later? Or?
I think she gets $1,000 for that
Bottle of
comment.
wine is coming her
Tom's
way.
got to give me one.
That's right.
For this, but okay.
Angela, you and Toma Partners are awesome, so thank you so much. It's actually our pleasure working with you, so thank you.
And we all love you here at
Thanks.
KQCK.
Likewise.
We do, Angela.
Take care. Have a good day.
All right.
Thanks for calling in.
Bye-bye.
All right. That call was brought to you by.
by me and previously, telling her to call.
No, it wasn't.
No, no.
I keep forgetting to do that for myself.
Yeah.
Coming here each week, I stay too busy.
All right.
I need to plant some callers that
That's
call and say,
right.
I just want to say I was watching this live, and Mark, you're the most handsome dude.
Yeah.
That has never happened.
Well, you want to hear something really funny? Since you're saying that, I'm gonna regress back to one of our first comments here because we've had several calls. Terry Reynolds wanted me to say, please tell Wendy she's a gorgeous woman, and are you married? and then he almost stopped, and he said, I swear to you, he almost stopped, and he said, and tell her I love the earrings. And there goes my phone again.
Nice.
So he can't even get his.
Terry, if you're still there afterwards, she's going to be singing some karaoke. She already told us she's going to. She noticed a disco ball up there, and she goes, I sing, and I sing well. You guys are in for a treat. She said, you guys are in for a treat.
They're lighting the phones up, too, which is very interesting.
Yeah, she's going to get married by the end of the night or propose. Are you already married? I married her off twice. Can you do that? Yes. I hope your husband's not watching.
I hope so too.
No, it should be
just
complimented.
Absolutely. Who knows? I might want to trade him in after, right?
I don't know.
That's right.
But Melvin, doesn't it make us feel bad? We just never get those calls, you and I.
I know. Okay.
Well, I looked at the card and I went, "Is this the same person I look up there?"
I know.
And I see a supermodel on it. You look like a supermodel. I'm telling you.
I thank you very much. My picture needs to go. Tom knows I recently redid it.
Yes. How did that turn out, by the way?
Absolutely great. Everyone loves it.
Oh, at the
my
photographer
new
that you do at your office?
my new cards are on their way. So
Beautiful.
Well, thank you, Terry, for that comment. But if you wouldn't have said it, I would have. So,
Oh,
all right,
thank
here we
you.
go. Except the married part, because I'm married as well. All right, let's see.
Hang on that question for a second. Did you know, too, I'm going to do a plug. Everybody's plugging themselves. I invested in a company that takes these business cards and turns them into mobile business cards on your smartphone. So when you switch a picture, it switches it in everybody's phone that is ever put in.
I like that.
Sweet.
Isn't that
Very
sweet?
sweet.
Whoa.
That is sweet.
All right.
Another
use that.
call.
Call
This is-
Mark Windsor if you want one of those deals. $85 special tonight. Usually it's $100. $85 special to get that completely created. It's actually an incredible
I need to
thing.
do that because nobody
It's
even knows
cheap.
who I am. But
That's cheap stuff, but you know it's in everybody's phones. It just gets changed out immediately. In fact, I just did that last week. Made some changes to mine, pushed some buttons, and it's now in your phone.
I saw it, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's
5:33. We got a call coming in, and
You know,
we probably have
we've
some
got a break.
sponsors.
I don't know how he's going to get to sponsor with the phone going up.
Please.
Oh,
Not
this is
yet,
going, yeah.
please, he said.
So
So
it's a good call.
we've
It's
got some good calls coming in.
probably some more fan mail for me. Oh, he said it is.
see,
Yeah, we were talking about how my life's getting pretty busy, and I do other shows and stuff, and so I was having Scott be on here to be with Tom, and we were wondering, could this show even survive without me? And clearly, the question now is, do they even know I'm here? You know, because I changed,
that's good.
over time. We do want to. We were talking about the VA loans, but we may not even have time. He's now done with that call because that's very interesting. I wanted to talk more about VA loans if we get a chance, but we may not have a chance. He's got lots of questions now.
All right, we're going to make this really quick here. God, where am I at? Okay, Tom Diller, this is a call for you from Genevieve out of Mesa. She's in the middle of a loan right now, but she wants to switch and work with you personally. I asked why, and I said, can I ask why? And she said, no. So, is that something people can do in the middle of a loan? Can they generally switch to a different...
Well, if Genevieve, if you're talking about title company, it depends how far along you are. We have had people switch different title companies because they weren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. But again, it depends. If you're at the point where you're close to documents, don't switch. It's going to make things more difficult. But if you're talking about lender, if you want to switch, that's kind of a Wendy question. Now, certainly, if the person isn't doing their job, have somebody else jump in there. But if you've already ordered the appraisal, there could be an issue.
Generally, we can get appraisals switched over. Most of the time, it's not a problem.
So it's not a problem any longer.
Well, because the buyers pay for the appraisals up front, so technically they do own them, and it's a matter of them requesting from the appraiser. And the appraiser might charge them a fee to do so, but it might be worth their interest if they're not getting the service that they require and maybe not getting their questions answered and their loan isn't progressing at a good pace.
Sure.
And if you're doing it just to get Tom's new calendar, Boys in the Buff, don't do it. I mean, he'll send you one anyway. Just send.
Yeah, those are
Sorry,
free.
Mark.
But
Was that out loud?
Genevieve, certainly you can give me a call if you'd like. We can talk about it. Let me know if this is a refinance or a purchase, because it does make a difference. And I didn't know the thing about the appraisal. I thought with the new appraisal laws that once you order the appraisal, it's only good for that company, that transaction. So it's good to know that you could actually pay a little bit of money to switch that to another company.
Generally, it won't apply to every lender out there. We are a mortgage bank, and if you're working with a broker, which is, someone who shops all different companies and they operate a little differently than a mortgage bank, their rules might be slightly different, but I know it is possible with us.
Sure.
So just give Tom a call. What's your contact info, Tom?
Sure. 480-229-4624. 480-229-4624. Thank you, Genevieve, for the call.
Steve from Peoria, 21 years old, and lives with a girlfriend, not married. He does not have much credit. Is that a problem, or can we work around that somehow? He's a first-time buyer.
Absolutely can be worked around. There is something that we recommend to many, many clients called the secured credit card, where you deposit money into an account, get a credit limit equal to that. Use it wisely. Do not charge more than 50% of the available line of credit. Be sure that you carry a balance, even if it's $5 month to month. And in several months, you will have generated a credit score.
Is the old saying 3 trades? Like 1 installment, 2 revolving? So if you have
Ideally.
3 trades, you're probably on your
And
way.
I thought Wendy was going
Ideally.
to say, we can solve that for an extra $10. We'll send a preacher to your house.
Get you married.
Get married within no
Then
time.
you have your debt ratio will be better.
That's right.
You know?
Hey, but we can also, he could have a parent or somebody else
Absolutely. Absolutely. It could be
add him as a
added
what do we call those?
as an authorized user.
There you
go.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Melvin.
Yeah, he can be added as an authorized user. There's a couple other tricks out there that's available for him to get his score increased.
He did say he had a credit card, but doesn't use it. So
He needs
Start
to start
using
using
it, yeah,
it.
and pay it off. But
You
keep
can't
a
build
balance going,
credit
right?
if you
Yeah.
don't use credit.
And again, guys, all these calls that are coming in, they're not totally full of details because there's a lot of parameters in there. So please call Wendy, call what was your-
Melvin.
Milton, right?
Melvin.
I'm sorry.
See? See what I started?
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next one here. And I think I know the answer here. I think you only do Arizona. Is that correct?
Currently, both of us are actually, our companies do other states.
All right,
so
well-
we do have access to that.
Gary from San Diego is getting ready to make a purchase on a $500,000 plus live-aboard boat to live on. Wants to know if you have programs for boats.
We do not.
That's
Well, we'd love
marine
to hang out
financing.
with you on
Yeah.
it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you
Well,
can.
answer
Close
that
the deal.
question
We're on
at
our
your
way.
boat.
Yeah, close the deal. We're on our way over there. We can do a broadcast from the boat, can't we?
You know, I can tell you one of the things I love about broadcasting here is that we get calls from all over the United States. You don't get
Yeah.
that on the AM, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
cool stuff.
Yeah. We actually are licensed, I believe it's in 10 states now. And so we do have access to work with people who are licensed in other states. So,
All right. So
And California is one of them.
is one
yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
So if it was a loan you could do, not a houseboat, but a normal everyday loan, they could call and you just link them up with another officer there.
Absolutely. Or we can work in conjunction. Both of us are actually working on some multi-state licenses as well. So, yeah.
Do we want to work into a quick break now that we're caught up on our phone calls?
I thought you'd never ask. Hey, we do appreciate you listening. Hopefully you're enjoying the show. We've had a lot of great calls. It's Mark Winsor.
Tom Diller,
Join us right after the break.
thank you.
Are you having plumbing or septic problems? No worries. Call Cartwright's Queen Creek Plumbing and Septic Service. Been in the Valley since 1996. Family owned and operated. Proudly serving East Valley and surrounding areas. With a full range of services from drain cleaning, septic tank pumping, general maintenance and repairs, inspections for the sale of your home. They provide excellent and courteous service for all your plumbing and septic needs. We're not satisfied till you are satisfied. Licensed, bonded, and insured. Call today. Cartwright's Queen Creek Plumbing and Septic Service. Contact Denise at 480-987-8051. That's 480-987-8051. Are you ready to start taking control of your future and maximize your earning potential? Central Arizona College has smaller class sizes and personalized attention to help you compete in today's tough job market. CAC now serves Santan Valley and Queen Creek. The CAC Santan Center is located in the shops at Copper Basin on Hunt Highway, behind Barrow's Pizza. Stop in and see how taking classes at CAC costs a fraction of a state university, and your credits can transfer. So, if you want to earn real money, you need to learn real skills at Central Arizona College. Enroll in classes today by calling 480-677-7825 or visit www.centralaz.edu or call 480-677-7825 or visit www.centralaz.edu. Central Arizona College, your college, your way. Why is it so hot in this room, yet cold in other rooms? There's gotta be a solution.
You need to call the company For Your Comfort, servicing residential and commercial AC, heating, refrigeration, and low temp. For Your Comfort LLC is the company that makes you comfortable. We provide same-day and emergency service. Everything from system checkups, repairs, installation, and air quality. We also take care of manufacturer warranty, repairs, commercial ice machines, walk-ins, and much more. We can assess your air quality and find solutions to make your home or business more efficient and comfortable. That's our goal. Licensed, insured, bonded, and NATE certified. For Your Comfort LLC is ready for your call. 480-882-2048.
Because of the company For Your Comfort, my home is now cool and comfortable. Thank you so much. You were fast and friendly.
What did I tell you? For Your Comfort, the solution to your AC issues. 480-882-2048.
Grab the mic as you need to and just yank around over.
I think we're on the air. Look at that.
Yes,
faux pas.
we are.
You know,
He's
you
going to
gotta
blame his
give-
eyes or something at this point. I thought he was going to.
You got to give me more warning. Although I think listeners, you do that on purpose. I think.
You know what? You're just talking away, not paying attention. And,
No, I wasn't. I was yapping with Scott. We do welcome you back to the Winsor and Diller Show. I'm Mark Windsor.
I'm Tom Diller. How you doing?
We have special guests, of course, Scott Welk, who's joining us most weeks now. Except last week, I think you were in court in Tucson. Is that the deal? The phone's ringing already. We didn't invite you. No, no. We welcome callers. I'm kidding. We
Mark's
welcome
getting mean
callers.
in his old age.
We love
Older
callers.
age.
now we have that number up on the template all the time there. So
Oh yeah. So and I don't have to memorize it then either. Look at that. We have Wendy Hartman-Thomas and Melvin Fields with People's Choice. People's Mortgage. It is their choice, but it's their mortgage as well. People's Mortgage. Talking about wonderful things. Well, why he's yapping about getting another question in. Let's go back to these VA loans.
Sure.
Can a person just get one of those a lifetime, or can you get one, pay it off, get another, and a refinance? Or
Absolutely.
How flexible are those things?
Very flexible. As long as you have satisfied the previous VA loan, you can obtain a new one.
Whether it's by refinance or just paying it off or whatever.
Correct. Now, the upfront funding fees, and there's a few fees that vary depending on whether it's your first loan or your 10th VA loan. But otherwise, you are able to continue to do those as long as you've satisfied the previous commitment.
Now, how about National Guard people like me that's never served overseas? Well, I went to training overseas, but I've never killed anybody. So I was in the Guard for many years.
Do you have the DD-214 that you got when you got out of the service, or?
Melvin, do I have that?
You should.
I should. Yes, Wendy, I should.
Yeah.
I got out as a major. I don't know. They handed me a paycheck and said, "See you
As
later."
long as you have that, then you can do a
You
VA
should
loan.
have VA eligibility.
All right,
Yeah.
VA loans are pretty good. How about those loans that are the farmer home loans, or whatever they call them? That are specific?
USDA?
Yeah, those USDA
Yes.
choice.
Will they
loans.
throw in a steak with the
Yeah,
loan?
exactly.
Exactly.
Is
Get
that it?
prime
Box Omaha
choice.
Are those
steak.
available
There you
through
go.
People's Mortgage?
Yeah, we have those as well. That's another 100% percent financing product that's available for only rural areas
Based on the zip codes, yeah.
based on the zip codes.
Yeah, but oddly enough, this radio station's in one of those areas. You
I
may
bet.
not have guessed that.
I don't
Actually-
We're all USD out here.
Yeah.
choice meat.
That's
Not hobbled, by the way.
It's funny when we first tell people where they're going to come.
Yeah.
Come to the radio station. Yes, here's the directions. Say again.
right at the ostrich,
Yeah,
left at the
left of
alpaca.
llama. Yeah.
Hey, by the way, that was Jane from Phoenix wanting to know about a home warranty question, so I referred her to Denise Tucker.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Yes. Very
Yeah,
nice.
she-
Thank you, Joe.
She was a wonderful guest as well. In fact, that was an interesting show because
Lucky
rude,
'cause I had the
as
card
rude
right
as it
there.
is, I thought in my mind that having a home warranty person would be the most boring show. So I told Tom, if you're going to have somebody on, not that being mean, I said, you better have somebody else here. But she showed up by herself, and it was a great show.
You know,
good.
you said, Tom, I want you to take care of the guests. And I said I would never let you down. I brought
And
this
you
one
didn't.
gal on. He goes, you got what? I mean, she's sitting here. He's like, what? Home warranty, what?
But it was a great show.
And then she rocked it.
Like
she
tonight, you know, the
rocked
phones
it.
are just lighting
Yeah.
up.
It never
Yes.
stopped ringing. I mean, it's just amazing what you
That's
can, the
good.
home warranty, what it does. I
And
mean,
if for outside
investors,
of the
people-
state as
exactly.
well.
Been in your house for
Absolutely.
8 years and it's starting to fall apart, buy a home warranty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. One little comment I'd like to make on Tom's original discussion about the HARP 2.0. If people do have questions about what it will do to help them, just contact us. If they want to know what choices they are, how much money they can save, etc. It is something that some people may actually want to explore. It is available for second homes and investment properties as well, as long as they're Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac owned loans.
Now, haven't there also at times been specialized programs offered by the state of Arizona and maybe, I don't know, cities have offered, but I know there's been pocket areas and things like that they've offered.
Are you talking for purchases? Or?
No, maybe.
Well, for purchases, there's a lot of programs like NSP2, which is the neighborhood
those are
stabilization
purchases.
program. Remember, we had CC San Diego from
Any
CPLC.
loan incentive type programs by the...
We have a new program that we're still finding out more details about, and it's actually through.
It
I'll
is
let
through
Melvin.
there's a new program, and actually we have a meeting on it on Friday, rolling out through the state of Arizona, where they're helping supplement the HARP program
See, Tom?
that people may be eligible for additional principal reduction. And that program has rolled out with the state. We're getting all the official details on how it works in court.
I was having
See how he
Revelation.
gets? See how he gets? Look at him. Look at him. See how he gets?
Mock me.
I'm going to cry myself to sleep tonight. Look at that.
I got your back.
Thank you. Calvin. He just made all that
See, I
up.
thought you were referring to supplements, like when people buy homes, they get the silent seconds, that kind of thing. There's a lot of amazing programs that are out there. In fact,
Those
I'll
are
have a
probably
guest
what I was
on.
thinking of.
Yeah, I'll bring somebody on to talk about that. But they come and go all the time, depending on how much their funding
Absolutely.
is, and it could be $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 in almost free money, basically.
Well, what we've heard, and like I said, we still have yet to learn all the details, is that this program could reduce someone's principal by $100,000.
Really?
So it
I'm
could,
in.
yeah.
Of course, you probably have to be upside down.
Yes, you have
Oh,
to be upside
bummer.
down. And you have to be
'Cause I don't
upside
think I
down
am
with
anymore.
HARP, too. That's a very
Oh.
important thing, that if you have 20% equity in it, you can't.
Then don't worry about HARP.
Don't
Look
worry
at
about
one.
HARP.
But there may be other loan programs.
But absolutely, there's regular conventional loan programs.
Another
Absolutely.
call.
Let's jump in with our next two questions.
Oh, 2 callers.
Benjamin from Tucson. I did not complete 4 years in the military. How do I find out if I qualify for a VA loan? And can you help me in Tucson, even if I don't? And this was directed to Wendy.
Yes, absolutely. We can help you in Tucson. Not a problem there. I would ask you to call me and I'll find out some additional information from you on exactly what you do have, discharge papers, etc., from your time in the military. And yes, more than likely we can help you with a VA loan.
So the one question is your parole finished? And if so, you're okay, right?
And you can contact the VA directly
Yes, you
to
can.
find out your eligibility as well.
Oh, really?
Yes, if you Google, same thing, if you just Google, am I eligible for a VA loan, it'll come up with the site that you can go to find out if you are eligible.
But if they want to make it easy, they can call
They
you,
call
get
you
their
up.
foot in the door with you, start things rolling.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
All right, Alan from Tempe wanted just to say great show, and he will be calling you guys, and thank you very
Awesome.
much.
Oh,
appreciate it.
fantastic.
Cool.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Now, there was another type of loan I wanted to ask about. We did the VA.
We did
Farmer
USDA.
home. USDA, right?
Yep.
Oh, my. There was another one just before that caller.
Conventional?
That
Do they still do
brain
caller,
those?
that caller interrupted me. Can you believe that? Oh, what other types of loans are out there? There are other types, I'm sure.
We pretty much have covered FHA, conventional, USDA, VA.
Here was my question. It just came back to me. Clearly, when somebody comes to your office, they don't know what they need or want.
Absolutely, they don't. They don't have a clue, and I don't expect them to.
So do you have all those loans in your mind floating around?
Absolutely.
In a pretty little
quite
head.
frankly,
I
I
never
say this
sleep.
seriously. There are places where
Wow,
you
neither
go,
do I.
and they have a certain type of
Yours
loan
is
program they're
drug-induced.
going to try to peddle every stinking time. Isn't that right?
That's right. Go ahead.
And so I guess my question was, if they come to you, are you more open-minded to actually look at their situation,
Absolutely.
help figure out what they need, rather than say, in your mind, everybody walks in the door, I make either more money or easier or whatever on a certain loan program?
No, our goal, both Melvin and I, and that's why we've worked together as a team for years, because both of us used to work on another mortgage company together, and we both had the same morals about doing the best thing for the customer. And it is truly about what's going to best service your needs. So we're going to ask you a lot of questions to see what you're eligible for, and then we're going to show you this is what we'll need if we do example A, this is what you'll need if you do example B, and it's up to them to determine which payment and which down payment they're most comfortable with.
Did you have another
10 more
caller?
minutes.
No, I'm
No?
taking a little break here, just waiting.
He's
All right,
left the phone
callers,
off the
you're
hook.
slacking off. 480-745-1033.
And Marvin, do me a favor, would you?
Melvin.
Melvin.
Margaret.
I'm just kidding.
Mary.
No, you're
Marvin,
not.
Milton,
I really am.
Melvin.
Milton, Marvin, like I said, I
Bob.
answer to it all. Bob might be a problem, but
just pull that mic up a little bit so you're talking towards that orange spot on there, would you?
oh, okay.
There we go.
All right,
Perfect.
good deal. Yeah.
So basically, I mean, we're going to take anyone that calls us and find out the information. And if they need credit help, we'll do that as well.
How about loans on different types of properties like raw land or manufactured homes, or all those toughies that are out there? Are those still out there?
They are still out there. We don't touch raw land loans. There has to be a home on the land. But we do manufactured housing. We do modular housing. There are outlets for all of that, yes.
How about investment loans for someone who wants to get a second home or an investment home? So either a second
Absolutely.
home or an
Arizona and Florida are probably two of the biggest states for that. And we absolutely do those. And what's quite nice about them is that the interest rates are very competitive to a primary home, just require a larger down payment.
Okay, now I have a tougher question. A loan designed for a self-directed IRA to purchase a property.
Oh boy, you do want to challenge me, huh?
I mean, you were answering all these off the top of your head, so easily I wanted to reach in and challenge you. I think those are still out there
Absolutely.
somewhere.
We can use that as income. It's a little trickier.
Because back in the day, they had loans, and I haven't checked lately, where if you have a self-directed IRA, as long as you had enough equity in the self-directed IRA to put 50% down, so knock the house you're buying, you had to put 50% down, the self-directed IRA could get the loan without you qualifying with your credit. You have credit, but the self-directed IRA gets the loan, and it's a non-recourse loan. Those were floating out there about 3-4 years ago. I haven't checked lately.
To my knowledge, I'm not familiar with them at all, but that doesn't mean that I'm not missing something, and I'd be more than willing to look into it if somebody has that situation.
All right. Call us 480-745-1033 with that situation, and she'll look into it when she gets back to her office.
He gave me a challenge.
Yeah, I thought I would
Go
give it.
figure. The attorney gave me a challenge.
Well, it's getting too easy. You're getting too popular out there. When they're loving you so much, I'd say, okay, she may not know everything in the world. No, you're doing a great job. It's
Thank you.
actually one.
Thank
We had we get all kinds of guests who sometimes just are not. Sometimes just not comfortable.
Yeah, they get
And
stumped.
They get stumped, or they turn the program into trying to promote themselves, which I congratulate both of you on not doing that, because, quite frankly, we don't have guests on unless we've screened them anyway, so
Right.
there's no need for you to promote yourselves, or
Right.
you wouldn't have been here if we didn't think you were top in your field.
Well, this whole thing is an educational process.
It is.
And not
It is.
everybody
It is.
knowledgeable in this, and that's part of the confusion that's going on with a lot of this HARP programs and stuff like that. There's so much information and confusion that's been thrown out there And then you got people who they're running to all these modification companies.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Don't get us started with that.
Yeah, don't even get me started on that.
Yeah.
That that's feeding them bad information. That we try to come from it from an educational standpoint and try to educate the buyer.
Yeah, they call an 800 number somewhere, and holy moly.
Melvin and I are consistently involved in workshops throughout the valley. Feel free to call us if anyone's interested.
Do you have any planned that you know on the top of your head where and when?
When is
We
our
love
next?
those.
We have a CE class teaching.
So that would be for real estate agents to get their continuing education. I'll translate.
But we do have a workshop coming up, and I don't know it off the top of my head, and I apologize. But again, if you want to email me or call me, I will tell you where it is.
So the
and
workshop
it's
you're
free.
thinking about, Wendy, is for
Home buyers.
Home buyers, and the one, Melvin, you were talking about is for real estate agents.
Real estate agents.
All right, so
correct.
you can call on both of those because those are very important. We do have a lot of real estate agents that listen on many weeks.
2 more calls.
Yeah, let's get our last.
So let's do this first. Yeah. So
Yeah.
if any of our listeners are interested in attending, so you say it's a free workshop.
It's
for
a free
home buyers.
workshop. We do it at Harkins Theaters in conjunction with a whole panel of people. And we actually give them all of their different options if they're upside down or if they're looking to buy a home. So
Then we can watch Courageous after or something like that.
Absolutely.
All right.
Then we go right into the movie Batman, and I'm happy.
Oh no, not that. Courageous. And then if they're a real estate agent, likewise, you hold those occasionally.
Yes, we do the CE classes for real estate agents as well, and we do have
Outstanding.
some coming up around the valley, and you can call us for details.
All right, Joe, we have another call.
Last 2 questions, I think, for the hour here.
Boy, I should say we're almost
Jacques,
out of time.
Jacques from Vancouver called as soon as you brought up the investment stuff. I'm working with a realtor now, and I am not happy with them. I'm an investor. Do you work with Canadians to help find investments, or can you refer me to someone good?
We do have Canadian loans, so I encourage him again to call us, and we'll go over what our specifics are. And I can help him find a different agent if he is dissatisfied. I'd be more than happy to find out what he's looking for.
He made it clear he was very unsatisfied.
Okay.
So. All right, next
Yeah,
question.
and interestingly enough, on the Canadian thing, I've actually represented a number of Canadians in buying so that the legal aspect is taken care of as well. And the only advice is make sure you have a good CPA as well when you're buying cross-border.
And thank you, Jacques from Vancouver. Next, Fred from Marana. I want to buy a home in Sholo. Does it matter where I'm purchasing? This would be my 3rd home. Do you have a website that he can look at?
Yes, we do have a website. He can look at mine or Melvin's. Melvin, go ahead, give yours.
My website is www.mfields at .smartmtg.com.
And what's your phone number?
480-612-4914.
And Wendy?
And again, my website is www.wendy.smartmtg.com, and there is all of our loan program contact information. Everything is on that site.
Now, when it comes to the investment properties, there's a limit, right? 8, 10, what's that number?
Yes.
There's a limit.
There is
On
a
how many you can buy,
There is
yeah.
a limit
For a
to-
land baron like yourself, you can only buy like 8, or is it 10?
We have 10 right now.
10.
We do have some investors that will allow us to go up to 10.
Oh, I'm grandfathered in with my 37, I guess.
There used to be some there were no limits, but those days are
So
gone.
even if you have the money, you have to stop at 10?
Well, you can buy them
Financed.
cash. But if
Oh,
you-
okay.
yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
And if you speak Chinese, you can get 2 additional.
Does Cantonese count?
Doesn't it feel like that at times?
Can you believe the hour is virtually
over.
gone at
It
this
is
point?
gone.
It's 2 minutes till. That's
Hey, we had
amazing.
lots of callers. Thank
Yeah.
you. It always makes the show delightful and more interesting when we get a lot of callers, so we're thankful. Grateful for those that were brave enough to go live with us. We always enjoy that. Tom, as usual. All right, I admit it. You're better than I am. You're a good talk show host.
Well, thank you.
Hey, you guys were wonderful.
Thank you
Wendy,
very much.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having us.
Melvin.
It was a pleasure.
Welcome, and we welcome you back for another show later.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Join us every Tuesday, 5 o'clock. God bless you. Scott, thank you for joining us.
he's nodding. Thank everybody for listening. We appreciate it. This is a KQCK Live. Tom Diller and Mark Winsor.
Stay tuned for Money and Motivation at 6:15 with Nancy Fleming.
Good night, everybody.
When you visit Hill Family Dentistry in Santan Valley, Dentist Dr. Tim Hill provides each patient with personalized, gentle care that you deserve. Our entire team is dedicated to providing you and your family with services that will make you smile. With a full range of general, cosmetic, and specialty dentistry services that will keep you and your family smiling. Our commitment to our community is to provide outstanding oral health. Hill Family Dentistry is located on 36359 Ganzell Road in Santan Valley, diagonally across from Banner Ironwood Hospital. Evening and weekend appointments available. We accept most insurances and have in-office policies available for non-insured. Contact us today at 480-588-8127. Hill Family Dentistry.